So welcome to Surrender Prevention. Having a surrender prevention program is going to be a new perspective and a new way to save cats' lives. And this will be for many shelters and rescues. Traditionally, for behavior problem-based surrender, we focused on concerns like, is it realistic that we will be able to take in this peeing cat? Will a biting cat be adopted? Do I have volunteers who can work with this aggressive cat? Do I have foster homes who will take a cat that scratches rugs? Having a surrender prevention program reduces intake in two ways. The cat stays in the home during the free cat behavior counseling, and with this intervention, the cat stays in the home permanently. By reducing the intake of cats who are being surrendered due to cat behavior problems, we can focus on the cats who are truly homeless and need shelter and rescue. We can keep cats who have a home in their home. I have found that once cat owners understand their cat's behavior problems, that's half the battle. But just explaining that cats do not think in terms of right or wrong the way humans do, and that the cat is not being bad on purpose, I've been able to get my foot in that metaphorical door to keep a cat in her home. Cats want to meet their needs, and they want to be able to do this safely. When the cat thinks something or someone in her environment is not meeting her needs and is not safe, a cat will solve the problem as a cat. This information is helpful to cat owners and gets them to look at the problem from their cat's point of view. So many people think their cats act out of spite or revenge or to teach them a lesson or they're being bad on purpose, but this simply is not true. With the surrender prevention program at your shelter or rescue, we're going to have a new approach. It starts with empathy. This is the first interaction a person who wants to surrender her cat may have with you. Here's an example. I'm sorry to hear that your cat is peeing on your bed. I understand how upset that must make you. I get it. Cat pee is really smelly. I'm glad that you called because we can provide you with free cat behavior help. The good news is that litter box problems are usually fixable. We will help you free of charge to resolve this problem so that you can keep your cat. We'll be empathetic, non-judgmental, ask questions, and we'll be practical when it comes to time, patience, and financial limitations. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to be non-judgmental and empathetic. None of us wants to be judged, especially by someone who answers the phone or responds to an email at the shelter. When you contact a shelter, you're thinking this is someone who you can turn to, but at the same time, this is someone who does not know you at all. But we do find ourselves judging cat owners based on a few sentences when they are in crisis and without knowing anything about the full story and their personal situation. When cat owners call us to surrender their cats, we want to be their ally. So it's crucial that we listen, remain compassionate, and avoid making judgments. We want to keep the cat in the home, so we want this relationship to be good. We want the cat owner to know that we are on her side. Remember, this person is calling you for help, wanting a safe placement for her cat. The caller is not abandoning the cat or leaving the cat outside somewhere. So you know, at the very least, that the caller has feelings and concern for her cat, and she does not want the cat to be harmed. She wants to surrender the cat to a place where the cat will be cared for, safe, and rehomed. Many times people surrender their cat when things reach a boiling point. There was some crisis or some end of the road, and this is not what the cat owner thought would happen. It's a difficult decision, and chances are there's been a long and bad road on the way to that decision. Often, the cat owner's description of the cat is not accurate. Many times owners misunderstand and misread cats' behaviors. Because of this, We should not assume that a cat owner's assessment of the cat's behavior is correct. That's why we need to ask a lot of questions. And try not to reinforce the potentially inaccurate and maybe even hurtful to the cat description by using the same language. For example, if the cat owner says, "My cat keeps attacking me, he's an aggressive cat," use neutral language back. "Can you tell me what the cat is actually doing when you observe this?" When cat owners use words like brat, spiteful, attacking, aggressive, doing things on purpose, doing things even though she knows it's wrong, do not repeat those words back. We don't want to reinforce that language. And when it comes to surrender prevention, if a cat owner says, "My cat keeps peeing on the bed on purpose," we don't even have enough information to help. Is keeps peeing several times a day, once a day, or every few days? The person's perception and stress level will have a lot to do with this. Does on purpose mean the cat owner has been punishing the cat? So the cat assumes this means the cat knows she is wrong? So there are many reasons not to use this language back in conversation. Now, here's an actual email that I received. The cat owner had an 11-year-old cat named Ethel and brought home a 2-year-old cat named Shadow. "I'm frustrated with Ethel. She now prefers the safe room and not to be around Shadow. Ethel used to love our living room. She doesn't play with her favorite toys anymore. Obviously, she is acting like this despite us. Any suggestions? Ethel is a very stubborn cat who judges animals and people, and she will hold on to a grudge forever." So this is where you really need to ask questions about the cat owner's descriptions. In this case, what do they really mean with words like stubborn, judging, and holding a grudge? What do cat owners really mean when they say the cat did something out of jealousy, for revenge, or to teach you a lesson? Ask the specific behaviors they are observing. Ask about their introduction process. Ask about territory. Ask about resources. Ask about play. Ask about enrichment. These types of questions will allow you to make an accurate assessment. Next, giving hope is so important. Cat owners typically reach out to shelters and rescues when they are feeling hopeless, defeated. An expression I hear very often is, "I'm at my wit's end." Let the cat owner know that there is reason for hope and optimism. We can resolve this problem. When a cat owner thinks she needs to surrender her cat, she might be feeling sad or demoralized. Replace this hopeless feeling by sharing optimism. Let them know the situation can be resolved. When giving hope, it's important to remind the cat owner that she loves her cat and she has taken great care of her cat, and we will be there to help her solve this problem. You know what? Things are looking up. With the surrender prevention program, our goal is to keep cats in their homes. To do this, we need to be able to ask a lot of questions to get accurate information. Listen, but also take the time to repeat back what you heard. This clarifies things for both of you. Most of the time, we are doing this work over the phone or email, so asking a lot of questions and repeating back is necessary. Think of yourself as a detective. For example, if a cat owner says, "My cat is peeing in the sink," we don't want to throw out all of these random suggestions to try to resolve the problem. This will be time consuming, unproductive, frustrating. Instead, we want to ask questions and conduct a thorough investigation. It's important to listen for a number of reasons. In addition to getting accurate information, listening also helps the client fully express herself, tell her story, talk about her feelings, calm down. So don't cut the cat owner off. This listening helps the cat owner to be able to work with you. Let the cat owner talk and use statements like, I understand, and I get it. Repeat back to them what they're saying to you. We want them to know we care. The cat owner has probably experienced negative emotions like frustration, stress, worry, fear, maybe anger. The cat owner may be sad because he can't resolve his cat's behavior problems. He may feel angry at the cat or the situation. He may be disappointed. This is not what he expected. He's probably been judged and misunderstood. Perhaps family members and friends do not understand. And he might have even gotten bad advice from well meaning people. Help the cat owner calm down, and this will get her out of crisis mode. And now we can help her resolve the behavior problem. If the cat owner can't express herself, she may remain stressed. And if she's stressed, she might just continue on that path of wanting to surrender the cat. Our goal is to move the cat owner out of crisis mode to a state where she can have a productive conversation with us. Listening with empathy is our best tool for this to happen. Try to understand the mindset of the cat owner. Realize that cat owners are coming to you as a last straw. By the time they're calling you, they're frustrated. They are at the end of their rope. They may feel alone and not understand why their cat is acting out. They've probably tried many things on their own. Some of them may have been struggling with these unwanted behaviors for a long time and they're ready to give up. They may have lost hope that their cat is even capable of being a loved and well behaved family member. The cat owner may have forgotten what it is they loved about their cat in the first place. All of the great advice in the world won't matter if we don't understand the mindset of the cat owner. Remember that people usually call to surrender their cats when they are in crisis. They're angry and frustrated. It's our job to understand this stress and help them see that there likely is a positive resolution to their cat behavior problem. After all, many of us, cat lovers, have at times become frustrated with our cats. So we can certainly empathize with cat owners who are frustrated with their cat's behavior. Be on the owner's side. Imagine what would happen if a cat owner called to surrender her cat and she was so upset with her cat's behavior and you said, well, you have no right being a cat owner if you're going to get angry at your cat. What would this person's response be? She would probably become defensive and ignore your advice, maybe even hang up on you. She's already stressed and wants to surrender her cat. A sarcastic response is not going to make her reconsider her options. And of course, it's the cat who will suffer from this unproductive conversation. We want to be on the side of the cat owner. Try to find the positives. Try to find the good. Say things like, I can tell you love your cat. You have taken such good of your cat. You really have tried so many things so far. Now, we need to be practical when we are counseling cat owners. Not all cat owners have the money, time, or patience to follow every suggestion or intervention. When we gather information about the cat, we need to also gather information about the cat owner. Find out how much money, time, and patience the cat owner is willing to invest so we match our suggestions to the reality of the individual situation. Work within the cat owner's constraints and capabilities. Some people will say, the sky is the limit. I'll do whatever I need to do to keep my cat. Others will say, my cat has already ruined things and cost me money. I'm not spending any more money on this cat. In the course of conversation with the cat owner, she may reveal that money is an issue and she does not have very much disposable income. We need to take this information into account with surrender prevention. Here is an example of what I mean. If you have determined that having more vertical space will help in a certain situation, but the cat owner has financial limitations, we don't want to suggest an expensive cat treat. Instead, help the cat owner identify some shelving that may be going unused or tops of bureaus that can be repurposed as vertical space with a cozy quilt or soft blanket. We want to provide the best advice to solve the problem, but we also need to tailor our suggestions to what we think the cat owner can do and what they can afford. Practical financial and time considerations need to be taken into account with surrender prevention. Now, here you can see why empathy and compassion are so important. A cat owner we've treated with compassion is much more likely to trust us enough to reveal that money or time is an issue. This won't happen with a client who distrusts us because we were judgmental or sarcastic. And this is important information because a major component of a successful surrender prevention program is being practical with our advice. Follow-up calls are important, and depending on the issue and what was discussed, plan for a few days after the original conversation. This allows you to be there for the cat owner to get updates, learn about problems, and to continue to provide support and empathy. If you have a positive first conversation, it opens the door to further conversations. Maybe the cat owner only implemented some of the interventions. Maybe she needs a gentle reminder or encouragement to stay the course. Maybe everything that was advised was implemented, but there hasn't been enough progress. The cat owner may need ongoing support if the problem is resolving, but not as quickly as was hoped. A scheduled follow-up call can be reassuring. It's a safety net. The cat owner knows she has your support, and she knows she does not have to take the lead to contact you again. Sometimes cat owners feel embarrassed or they're bothering you, but having a scheduled call takes that burden off the cat owner. Maybe you'll find out that things are going great, or you may learn there are barriers that you need to deal with. Barriers can be anything from a spouse not wanting an uncovered box in the house. Maybe a roommate doesn't want a scratching post in the living room, but you need to know these things so that you can offer alternatives. The cat owner may need ongoing support and hand-holding if the problem is continuing and not being resolved quickly. Some cat behavior problems may take weeks or months to resolve, especially if they were going on for a long time. And maybe the cat owner didn't even call you till they were way out of control. Long-standing litter box issues or intercat aggression are examples of problems that won't be solved overnight. So knowing you're there to provide ongoing help and emotional support is important. For some problems, it may take days, weeks, but maybe months. So let the client know this to avoid discouragement. And be sure to provide frequent check-ins, feedback, encouragement, reassurance. Even a quick text can make a big difference. Emotional support is critical for this to work. There are concerns that are specific to new and especially first-time adopters. With new and first-time adopters, I recommend calling soon after the adoption, like 2 to 3 days. This is because the new adopters have not yet formed a bond with the cat. So if there are problems or their patience is being taxed, they might more easily decide to return the cat. It won't feel as big of a deal to a new adopter with no attachment. So you want to get right in there before any problems start to feel out of control. If this is a person's first time ever having a cat, then the need is even greater. The person who has never had a cat before does not understand the beautiful bond, the unconditional love, and the precious human-cat interaction. So I always suggest starting with a consultation, leaving about 45 minutes to an hour. Get a history of the behavior problem, find out what's been tried, not tried, Get enough information so that you can begin analyzing patterns of behavior, and you're really going to be asking a lot of questions. Videos, FaceTime, Zoom, Google Meet, all these platforms can be helpful. Then you'll develop a plan of action. Explain and demonstrate behavior modification techniques and training, suggest environmental changes, and provide this in writing in addition to the conversation. And you can even record it on Zoom. Follow up is a really important part of surrender prevention. It allows us to change or fine tune plans based on the follow through or what the cat owner reports is the cat's response. By doing this, we can intervene before the cat owner is frustrated, and check ins encourage continued work on problematic behavior. And during this time, be supportive, encouraging, note the progress that has been made. When developing a program and giving instructions, written communication is better than verbal. Having a written document, the cat owner can read it repeatedly until he or she understands the plan of action. It's there to refer to. Even when I go over it on the phone, I always follow up with an email. And if they don't have email, I send it via regular mail. Written communication is there for future reference. And I don't have to rely on the cat owner's memory or note taking abilities. It reduces communication, and I can do things like make the font bigger or use bullet points for easier readability. Many people want to surrender their cats when there's a behavior problem because they just don't believe that there is a solution. And many of these solutions are really not that difficult. There are hard to resolve problems, but I have gotten many people to keep their cats by doing relatively simple things. Add one litter box, take a cover off the litter box, change the location of a scratching post, do a reintroduction, and really by being available and responsive. Many of these surrenders can be prevented by being empathetic and making easy to implement changes. Many times when I say to a cat owner who wants to surrender, would you be willing to work with me free of charge? And that way you can keep your cat? They most often say yes. I dream of more shelters and rescues having their staff and volunteers certified in surrender prevention. I think it's a great volunteer position and is a perfect fit for many rescues and shelters. And my mission really is to address the problem of cat homelessness that is due to owner surrenders. Keeping cats in their homes is the goal of a surrender prevention program. Now, I want to make this point that many cat behaviors will say that if a cat is avoiding the litter box, the first step is to take the cat to the vet and rule out a medical issue. This is because there are many medical issues that will cause the cat to not use the box, such as a UTI. Now, if the cat is having trouble urinating, has blood in his urine, or cries when peeing, or if there is an unusually large or small output, I would immediately recommend a vet visit. But I also want to suggest using your best judgment on this as you are talking to the cat owner. Realize that there is a difference between seeking a cat behaviorist and surrender prevention. With a surrender, there is a sense of urgency. The cat owner wants to surrender the cat, and she's overwhelmed by a litter box problem. So, given all of this, if it does not appear that the cat is in distress, and with your comprehensive questions and assessment, you've identified reasons why the cat is not using the box, then it may not make sense to advise the cat owner to spend money for a medical problem that really may not exist. The reality is that some cat owners are not going to want to go through a structured program with many steps, even if you are sure that this is going to be the best way to solve the problem. So sometimes I use a little trick, like suggesting something easy that I know will work. And when this does work, the cat owner is happy and may be a little more flexible with their time and patience limitations. I always make sure to get the cat's name and use it often in conversation and in emails. A great way to convey that feeling of caring and connection is to consistently use the cat's name in the conversation and in writing. It makes your words more personal and is interpreted by the cat owner as being empathetic. Using the cat's name helps to build a bond between you and the cat owner. Names have meaning to the cat owner. The way an owner says the cat's name can be indicative of emotions like love, joy, and affection. So we want to support this bond as much as we can. What I have learned from doing this is most people want to keep their cats. They just don't think these behaviors can be fixed. Empathy is important. Call when you say you will call, email when you say you will email. Listening and reassurance helps. Even a simple statement like, I can tell you really love your cat, can create trust. Because surrender prevention in cat behavior is usually done over the phone and we can't personally observe the cat's behavior, asking questions is really important. And many times I'll even ask for pictures and videos. The surrendering of cats who have behavior problems to shelters and rescue organizations by their owners is a problem that we can fix. It's important to remember, cats really don't misbehave. They don't think in terms of right or wrong the way we do. They think in terms of fulfilling their needs. So often, what cat owners perceive as misbehavior is in fact a cat's logical response to a problem in his environment, and he has found a solution that works. Most people who make the decision to surrender a cat are heartbroken and truly want to do what's best for their cat. They just don't know where to turn. A surrender prevention program should include a variety of supports, such as empathy, compassion, addressing barriers to support such as time, money, and patience, and having that understanding of and sensitivity towards the challenges that the cat owner is facing. Thank you very much for attending this webinar. And if you need to get in touch with me, you can do that through my website at drrachelcatbehavior.com.